Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back at today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I'm going over the Week 8 running back rankings. I go through running back 1 through 32 in my rankings and give you a description about all the guys and why I like them or dislike them in the rankings. Now, before I get in the video, I'd like to ask you guys to listen to a word from my sponsor real quick, OverlayDFS.com. Alright guys, so how Overlay DFS works is all you have to do is make 12 simple start-sit decisions. Are you going to go with Russell Wilson versus Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, or Tom Brady? Who is going to score the most points in that matchup? All you got to do is make 12 picks. It is that simple. So now I'm going to go about how I do it. What I typically do is I like to go for games in here where there are stacks. So say in this game, you see at the wide receiver position, I think DeAndre Hopkins scores more than Michael Thomas, per se. So I go with Deshaun Watson as well. Now you have stacked them. It's like in those other DFS sites where you stack the players. I'm going to stack those players because I believe they are going to do great together. Now, with this, I'm going to make a total of 12 total picks plus 3 alternate picks. Now, the way this works is it used to be a single entry GPP. Now, in these, you can add up to 10 maximum entries, and the top 10% win 9 times your buy-in. It is actually amazing. And then if you hit that beautiful 12-0, you can get the progressive bonus in the $2 game of over $3,000. Now, if you're playing in some of those bigger games, the progressive bonus is over $27,000. That is going to be huge for you to hit if you can hit that, and I think you can. Now, you guys are going to come play against me. Come compete with me. Let's see who's smarter, me or you. Likely is going to be you. So let's play together. Let's hit that 12-0 record bonus there, and the stars are going to align, and it's going to be amazing for you. Let's have some fun this week. Check out OverlayDFS.com. Link down below in the description. You're going to have a great time. Play the rest of the video now. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com. Link down below in the description. They are great friends of mine. They are why the channel keeps on going and why I can produce so many videos every single week. Let's get into the running backs. At number 1, we have Mr. James Conner going against the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know you may think that James Conner doesn't have the talent to be the number 1 running back in fantasy, but this week against the Miami Dolphins, he is going to absolutely be in for a humongous matchup this week. The Miami run defense, the Miami pass defense, the Miami offense, all things Miami is god-awful on this team. I think James Conner will be able to have an easy game in this game. They might be up by 1 million. They just keep handing it to James Conner. He just racks the score up, and then that's all they got to do. James Conner's in for a huge game this week. At number 2, we have Mr. Saquon Barkley going up against the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions defense is pretty good, but the run defense is lacking a bit. Saquon Barkley should be in for a huge game this week. Saquon last week coming back off the injury played pretty well. I think this week against Detroit, he will play even better. At number 3, we have Mr. Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey going against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, regardless of the matchup, Christian McCaffrey should be a top 5 back. I almost thought about ranking him number 1, but I felt that would be silly due to his tougher matchup this week against the San Francisco 49ers. But even against a tough San Francisco 49ers run defense, I still think Christian McCaffrey will be able to dominate in this game. You know he's going to get the dump-off passes. You know he's going to run the ball. He could probably get 200 combined yards in this game and 3 touchdowns, and I wouldn't even be surprised even against a tough San Francisco defense. He is the offense. There are reasons why people are calling for Christian McCaffrey to be the MVP. He is one of the best players in real life and one of the best players on your fantasy football team. Probably the best player on your fantasy team. At number 4, we have Mr. Le'Veon Bell going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And there's nothing I love more than a running back playing up against the Jaguars because the Jaguars defense has not played all that well. And Sam Darnold is now seeing ghosts. Now, all he has to do is dump it off to the man standing to his right or to his left. Just keep dumping it off back to Le'Veon Bell about 1,000 times, and Le'Veon Bell will perform. The Jacksonville run defense has not been all that good. I think Le'Veon Bell should be in for a big matchup this week. At number 5, we have the running back on the other side of the field, Leonard Fournette going up against the Jets. Now, the Jets' run defense has been okay, but we saw last week the Patriots absolutely eviscerate them, so I think that Leonard Fournette should be in for a huge game. Leonard Fournette is one of those guys that you can see that gets pretty much 20-plus touches every single week. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 25-plus touches in this bout against the New York Football Jets. At number 6, we have Mr. TG, Todd Gurley, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I know Todd Gurley is going to be one of those guys that is boom or bust. Todd Gurley in this game will either score 2 touchdowns and 60 yards and have a humongous game for you, or shit the bed and score fucking 4 points because he just runs for 40 yards and doesn't find the end zone. But I think in this game against the Bengals, they're going to get up early. They're just going to keep hammering the rock with Mr. Todd Gurley, and they're going to have Todd Gurley's just going to have a good game. He will easily be able to break through that defense. They're going to part the seas like his name is Moses and walk straight into the end zone. At number 7, we have Mr. Chris Carson going against the Atlanta Falcons defense. You know what I always say about the Atlanta Falcons defense. They are terrible, kind of like their offense. Chris Carson should be in for a humongous big game this week. Chris Carson gets it done through the air and through the running. Now, I know a lot of people worry about the fact that, oh, Nick, Rashad Penny's probably going to play. That hurts his value, right? Yeah, of course it may hurt his value somewhat, but he's still going to end up playing amazing. He is the clear-cut number 1 back on the team, and that shows every week when Pete Carroll throws him out there for 10 or 15, 20-ish touches every single game. At number 8, we have Aaron Jones going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I don't love Aaron Jones due to the fact that Mr. Matt LaFleur, the dumbass coach of the Green Bay Packers, is just an idiot. He just gives half the touches to Jamal Williams, and Jamal Williams isn't even that good. But at the end of the day, Aaron Jones, even with half the touches on the team, will be able to absolutely skull-fuck the Kansas City defense. He can get it done through the air and with his legs, like a lot of these running backs that are near the top can also catch balls. I think Aaron Jones should be in for a big matchup this week against the Chiefs that are likely without Patrick Mahomes, so I think Green Bay is going to have the ball a lot. At number 9, we have Mr. Joshua Jacobs going up against the Houston Texans. And Josh Jacobs had an amazing game last week. Now, I know Josh Jacobs is banged up, so he may not play, so I'll leave that down in the comments. Obviously, if he gets fucking hurt and he isn't playing, then I'll make sure to leave that down in the comments. But right now, I believe he's going to play. Reports are that they're saying that he's not going to play, but then he's saying he is going to play, so I don't know what to think, but I do know if he is in the game against the Houston Texans, he's in for a big matchup. At number 10, we have Mr. Chase Edmunds going up against the New Orleans Saints. And I know a lot of people are thinking, Nick, you fucking idiot. David Johnson is probably going to play in this game. Why do you have Chase Edmunds ranked 10? Where's David Johnson, you fucking idiot? Well, even if David Johnson is active, they're going to do the same shit they did last week, which is just fuck you straight in the ass. They're going to take their David Johnson and shove it straight up your ass because Chase Edmunds is the clear back for this team right now. David Johnson is clearly hurt, and even with David Johnson active, you have to believe in Chase Edmunds. We saw last week, we saw greatness. We've seen the last 3 weeks some solid games. I think this week against New Orleans should be no different. Knock one time if you're with me. At number 11, we have Mr. D-Rock Henry going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if I know anything about Derrick Henry, it's the fact that he is just going to run the ball on the 1-yard line. Now, you all know who's not going to be able to stop you on the 1-yard line? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Derrick Henry is going to be in for a big matchup this week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense did look good at the beginning of the season, but recently it has not looked as hot. I like Derrick Henry this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At number 12, I have Mr. Nicholas Chubb going up against the New England Deflatriots. Now, I know a lot of people will claim that he is playing up against the Patriots, so this is going to be an impossible matchup for him. Now, it kind of is. If you're not in a PPR league, I would be a lot more nervous about Nick Chubb. But I think in a PPR league where he can get the ball dumped off to him and lose 2 yards and catch the ball 10 times, he'll still be fine. But in reality, I think that the New England defense will not be able to stop Nick Chubb if they just consistently run the ball. Will they actually do that? Who knows? Is their coach smart enough to do that? Is Freddie Kitchens smart enough to do that? Who really knows? But I think Nick Chubb, obviously he is the floor or the ceiling to be the number 1 running back every single week because of how skilled he is, but obviously playing against the New England defense hurts him, so that's why he's slotted in at RB12. Now we're on to 13 through 24, so if you guys made it this far, you ended up enjoying the video thus far, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Number 13, we have Mr. Latavius Murray going up against the Arizona Cardinals, and to me, I believe Alvin Kamara, that is, I thought his name was Aaron Kamara for a second. Alvin Kamara is likely not going to play in this bout on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals, so I think Latavius Murray is in for another humongous game. We saw him score 30-plus points in PPR last week against the Bears. This week against an even softer defense, I think that could get done easily. Latavius Murray should be in for a humongous matchup this week. He gets it done through the air and with his legs. At number 14, we have Mr. Ty Johnson going against the New York Football Giants. And I know a lot of people are saying that it's J.D. McKissick. A lot of people will believe that it's Paul Perkins. But to me, I'm going to take the gamble, roll the dice, and throw that shit out there and hope that Ty Johnson has the best matchup of the week. He's playing up against the Giants. That is a soft matchup. It is Charmin Ultra Soft right there. Ty Johnson should be in for a big matchup this week given he gets the touches. Obviously, he's ranked at number 14 because of the fact that if he doesn't get those touches, it will hinder Mr. Ty Johnson. He can also get it done in the passing game. At number 15, we have Mr. Marlon Mack going up against the Denver Broncos defense. Now, he is one that is not able to get the pass catching work, but that doesn't matter. Against the Denver run defense, he should be able to thrive in this offense. They clearly like to run the ball over there in Indianapolis, and I think that Marlon Mack will be the benefactor of that. At number 16 and 17, we have the Patriots backs James White and Sony Michele. I have James White ranked 1 ahead going up against Cleveland due to the fact that I just feel he is safer. He has that PPR upside. He's going to be catching the ball a lot, which obviously ups his potential. Now, you can't go wrong with Sony Michele because I think he will find the end zone this week, but you're obviously banking on the fact that he finds the end zone, and if he doesn't, you would be quite disappointed with Mr. Sony Michele. At number 18, we have Austin Ekeler going up against the Chicago Bears, and I have a lot more confidence in Austin Ekeler. Now, we saw last week Melvin Gordon absolutely fuck the Chargers right in the ass against the Titans. I think this week they're going to try to rely more on Austin Ekeler because they know what isn't broke, don't fix it. Austin Ekeler at the beginning of the season was winning them games. Then they bring back Mr. Melvin Gordon, and Melvin Gordon fucks their team completely over. I think this week they're going to commit to Austin Ekeler, and against the Chicago Bears, we saw last week Latavius Murray flourish. I think this week Austin Ekeler could do the same thing. At number 19, we have Mr. Devonta Freeman going up against the Seattle Seahawks, and now at the beginning of the week, I was a lot higher on Devonta Freeman due to the fact that I thought that we were going to I thought that they were going to have to run the ball because Matt Ryan was not going to be in. Right now, it seems like Matt Ryan is going to be in, so it seems like Matt Ryan is going to play, so I would be a lot less likely to love Devonta Freeman if they're not going to just keep hammering the ball. Now, I think he will be fine enough in this game to be a running back 2, but not a high-end running back 2 at all. The Seattle defense has looked pretty good. At number 20, we have Mr. Philip Lindsay going up against the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't really like Philip Lindsay a lot this week. Obviously, we've seen the last couple of weeks Rolls-Royce Freeman take the reins from him and be the better running back to start in fantasy. I think this week against Indianapolis, that could be true as well. Obviously, is that passing game upside, but it seems like Rolls-Royce Freeman is getting a lot more passing work, and that's really hurting the Afro man, Philip Lindsay. At number 21, we have Mr. Viola Coleman going up against the Carolina Panthers, and Tevin Coleman has been a solid back thus far this season when he was healthy. Obviously, he's the pass-catching back for the team, but I don't really love them against the Carolina Panthers. I think the 49ers are going to win this game, but it's going to be a doozy. They may just run the ball a million times with Matt Breida, but I still think Tevin Coleman should be in for a good game this week, and I would rank him as an RB2. At number 22, we have Mr. Melvin Gordon going against the Chicago Bears, and like I said before about Austin Ekeler, I think it's really going to be the Austin Ekeler show in this game. Melvin Gordon will get that work and potential goal line work, but I don't know how much Anthony Lynn trusts Melvin Gordon. He doesn't look as good or as explosive as he looked in years prior. Obviously, taking off at the beginning of the year probably skull-fucked his career right in the ass because I really don't think he's going to be all that good this season. Melvin Gordon is not a guy that I really want to be starting in this game, but I guess you're going to have to go ahead and do it in a lot of situations. At number 23, we have Mr. Rolls-Royce going up against the Indianapolis Colts. And like I said, I almost feel a bit more confident starting Rolls-Royce Freeman because of the fact that he's just getting more of that touchdown upside now. But I still don't love Rolls-Royce Freeman against the Indianapolis defense that has looked pretty good. At number 24, we have Mr. LaShawn McCoy going up against the Green Bay Packers. I think LaShawn McCoy could flourish in this game given Pat Mahomes is likely out. I think they will be able to run the ball a lot, and the Green Bay defense is susceptible to getting attacked and beaten by that run offense. Do I think LaShawn McCoy will be able to do it? Maybe, because of the fact that there's so many running backs in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen over there for LaShawn McCoy that I think it may be hard for him to have an amazing game. Now on to 25 through 32. So like I said earlier, make sure to click that subscribe button if you have not already. At number 25, we have Jamal Williams going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know, I said at the beginning of the video that I like Aaron Jones more, but the fact is that Mr. Matt LaFleur likes giving the ball to both backs. He likes splitting that backfield straight in half, and Jamal Williams will be in for a huge game this week potentially against the Chiefs. If he was the number one back on the team, I would say a humongous game, but obviously Aaron Jones is still there, so that obviously hurts him, but I think he's definitely a solid flex option this week. At number 26, we have Joe Mixon going against the LA Rams, and I know Joe Mixon was a guy that I thought would be a top 12 back at the beginning of the season, but this year he hasn't done shit. The O-line is fucking terrible, and he has looked god-awful, so I think that Joe Mixon is just going to be stuck back here at number 25 through 32 for the rest of the season. I have no confidence in starting him against the Rams at all this week. At number 27, we have Carlos Hyde going against the Oakland Raiders, and I think if you want a guy that's potentially going to score you 7 to 10 points every single game, go ahead and start Carlos Hyde, but there's no other reason to start him other than that. He has no upside, even against a terrible Oakland offense. At number 28, we have Mr. Matthew Breida going against the Carolina Panthers, and like I said, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, they both somewhat hurt each other. I think Matt Breida will still be in for an okay game against the Carolina run defense, but I do not love him this week. At number 29, we have Mr. Frank Go going against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think this is going to be a pass pass-heavy attack on the Eagles, a pass-heavy rain. And since it is going to be raining in this game, potentially, actually, I kind of lied because I think that Frank Gore may get a lot of touches in this game if it's raining, but obviously Devin Singletary also on the team hurts both of them, so Frank Gore is so far back. At number 30, we have Mr. David Montgomery against the LA Chargers. Now, David Montgomery has been demoted. He fucking is terrible. He's not terrible. He's actually quite good, but the team doesn't run the ball enough with him. They don't know what to do. Matt Nagy's thumb is straight up his ass, and his visor is also up his ass with that. David Montgomery is not in for a good game. He is not in for anywhere near a good game. I am sitting David Montgomery straight on the pine and letting Matt Nagy know about it. At number 31, we have Mr. Miles Sanders going against the Buffalo Bills. And I know the Buffalo Bills defense is pretty good, but we're all the way back here at 31, so you're really just trying to put anything in your lineup that is going to be scoring some points. So I'd go with Miles Sanders in this game. At number 32, we have Devin Singletary going against the Philadelphia Eagles. And like I said, Frank Gore hurts Devin Singletary. Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard both hurt each other. So I think Devin Singletary will be in for an okay game, but he's definitely not a guy that I really want in my starting lineup. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Make sure to check out my YouTube channel also. When you're fucking down there, you click that subscribe button, go watch some other goddamn videos. Have a great rest of your day. Check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. I love each and every single one of you guys. Have a great rest of your goddamn day. Goodbye.